still absolutely loving my good old jaw with Lisa Flynn. So in the break, we didn't shut up. In the break, you were about to tell me a story about Flinny.
Yeah, because I want to sort of distill any sort of myth that he's perfect. So he's pretty good, but he does like his fun times. And I remember, so one of the reasons we moved down to Coffs Harbour, where we live, is I've got my parents down there. And when we initially moved down there, we lived with them for a bit of time. And there was one night, and Flinny went out and got pretty plastered. It was after a footy game that they won, and he came into the bedroom, and I had a Tully asleep in the bed with me, and I said, "Oh, look, Flinny, you're too pissed. You're going to have to go and sleep in one of the other beds in the spare room." And he goes, "Yeah, good idea, Lise, good idea." And so between sort of going down the hallway, he decided to sort of strip off all his clothes and then went into the room that my parents were asleep in.
Brilliant. And got into bed with your mum.
We're very close. So he opened the door, turned the light on, and stood there, sort of like not comprehending.
Did he have a boner on as well?
No, I don't know. Mum tells the story, and she was like, Flinny, what are you doing? And he sort of went, huh? And sort of giggled and then ran back to another room. But
so your mum seen his package.
Yes, and Dad. He nearly got into bed with Mum and Dad naked.
Was Dad grinning the next morning thinking mine's bigger than yours, or was it, you're going to have to get out of my house?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So that's a great one, isn't it?
Yeah, we would never let him live that down.
Poor Flinny.
Poor Flinny.
He'd have one over the 8, silly bastard.
I know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Well, aside from, what's your speciality in law?
So yeah, so I've worked at Shine for 15 years. So that's the only law firm that I've worked in, and it's been in the civil litigation space. So personal injury claims, we represent plaintiffs. So the little guy against big insurance companies and big corporations.
Do you think, and I hadn't warned you about this question, it's just occurred to me, so I apologise. We can always edit it out.
Yeah.
Do you think America has been the ruination of the Western world in as much as it's now so expensive to do sports because of litigation and insurance and...
Yeah, I don't think it's because of the claims that are being brought. I think that it's because of insurance companies, the way that they sort of internally run their cases, internally run their processes. So I think the insurance companies do a good job of blaming the injured people that are bringing claims, but I don't think that it's the injured people's fault.
But America started it with all this, my coffee's too hot and it burnt me and I'm suing.
Open the floodgates.
Yeah.
I tend to... The media will pick up on sort of sensationalist claims, but to bring a claim and to win a claim is really quite difficult. So there's often a lot of facts in the background that we don't get to see following the media. So I probably disagree with you there, and I don't think that we've become an increasingly litigious society. I think that people are bringing claims to the courts that do have merit, and if they don't have merit, then they don't win.
Oh, that's good to hear. No, I'm not. I was asking because I wondered, was that the go? So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm really cheered up to hear it.
Yeah, it's tough to bring a claim and to win a claim if there is no negligence on the other party.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And also, I did personally have a little run-in with the courts. And I felt at that time that sometimes it's a game between the prosecution and the defence. And they don't care whether you're innocent or guilty. It's more a case of we're going to win. It's like a game of chess.
Yeah.
Would I be wrong in saying that?
I think that there is a bit of, and I don't practice in criminal law, but I think there probably is a bit of gamemanship in the negotiations that go on in any area parts of law.
What's right or wrong. It's I'll do this if you give me that and stuff. What the actual how I felt. Yeah. For me personally, that is what occurred. And so I wasn't imagining things to a degree, would you say?
I think because courts can be sometimes unpredictable, both parties can use that to their advantage in negotiations. So they might sort of pull out what the worst case is to use to try and get you to the negotiator.
Oh, the worst case scenario.
So there is a bit of, and I don't think it's a great...
It works.
Yeah.
It got me to admit to doing something I never did, and horrible. But anyway, let's move on. Tell me about, there was a client, and transgender?
Yeah, but just one of the great things that in the work that we do is just the fact that you get to meet and connect with a lot of different people. And I do remember one client that I had years ago when I was in the Brisbane office, and she was born as a male but was going through gender reassignment and was living in that sort of the period of time where you don't have the hormones and surgery, but
You have to live like a woman for 3 years.
yes.
Yeah.
So she was really tall, so 6'4" and very broad and very quite hairy.
That's
hairy
cute and
body.
like really blokey.
Yeah, really blokey, and she'd come in, and I always so her feet, because they were huge, they were about a size 13 for a man, and she'd only be able to wear sort of thongs, which are the most feminine sort of male shoes.
So inside all this masculinity was this soul that felt she should have been born a woman. Seriously, there was nothing feminine about this person.
Well, there was, and I think it was sort of building to that. But so she'd have these big shoes and big feet and these thongs, but wear beautiful nail polish, so immaculately sort of done on a hairy foot. But I just would always sort of say, oh, I love that nail polish. And every time she came in, she'd bring a little thing of nail polish for me, the same colour that she had on any time. And
Isn't it
still
bizarre?
sent it sort of years after the claim finished.
I find
she
it
was
incredible that this lady, and we'll call her a lady,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
clearly he felt that they were born in the wrong body, painted her toenails but didn't wax her feet.
Yeah, I know.
That's
was
bizarre,
something-
isn't it?
yeah,
Or shave them, or
Yeah, I
anything,
know.
depilatory cream. It's just,
Yeah.
didn't you say to them, bit of wax?
I didn't,
I would have been
but
tempted to say, because I'm a bit mouthy like that, and I really would have offended them and everything. You know what I'm like.
I just pointed out the
Hey,
the
it's
nice
time.
bit.
We've got to stop. Lisa, thank you. I
sorry,
really
sorry.
love talking to you. Thank
I
you
love
so much.
talking
Will you
to
stay
you
on the
too.
show?
I would love
please?
to.
Watson's World, make it quick. Come on.
Okay, well, surf lifesavers drive me absolutely mad, always out the front of shops. I'm still getting phone calls from 3 years ago. This is the way you raise money. 12 Japanese porn stars took part in a 24-hour telethon, and their fans that donated money got to feel their boobs. Can we have the picture? There we go.
She ain't got no boobs. She's Japanese. They haven't got any. I can't see boobs.
Anyway, there's 12 of them, all very famous porn stars over there. And apparently they raise quite a lot of money for AIDS. So well done to the
Good
Japs.
on her.
Yeah.
Nice one. Listen, we've got to wrap up, so we've gone right over town. Tiny town. Okay, come back. Part 3.
Oh, shit.
Where we've got, yes, modern day etiquette, modern manners, and wanker of the week. See you shortly.